So being abroad has ignited a desire in me to try new things and to dive back into the creative outlets that I used to have that I'm not really diving into anymore. And I talked about this in a video when I talked about am I creative and kind of what this new journey is bringing up for me around creativity, around finding and discovering the things that I enjoy and that I love and that light me up as a creative. And yeah, I did one of those things that makes me nervous the other day, but it brought something up for me that I want to talk about. This is that story. Because sometimes you do things as your big self, your big boy self, your big girl self, and then it'll trigger memories and thoughts, of your little girl or little boy self. And that is what was going on for me. And then I kind of realized something or re-realized something. And I'm going to share that in this video. Full disclosure, it has been a long day. I am tired. So let's just be cozy together. I have my blanket, cozy up, and grab your cup of tea or whatever you do to kind of just chill and let's talk. So the other day, I did karaoke, and I haven't done karaoke in a very long time. Doing it felt really nice. It felt like, okay, let me just, these are people I'm probably never going to see again. You might just go, just do it, have fun. If you mess up, if it doesn't matter, right? All the things that I'm telling myself. However, I do miss singing. That was definitely an outlet for me. And I still do it, like in the car, in the shower, that kind of thing. But I don't have an organized outlet for it anymore. And karaoke is kind of an outlet for it when you think about it, because you can get up and sing. Now, people did come up to me, but that's not fair. You're not supposed to be able to sing when you do karaoke, right? And they're just being, funny. It was a beautiful bunch of people, and they were having a great time. Everybody was enjoying themselves. And I get up there and I sing, and I'm nervous. And one thing about being really nervous when you're about to sing is that you can't let your nerves affect your breath. You literally have to remind yourself to breathe, because if you are not breathing properly, you're not going to sound good, because you can't sustain the note. You maybe can't find the note. So you're flat or you're sharp. Most likely you're flat because you haven't, sustained enough breath to be able to really sing, right? And to have any kind of, whatever. And I am one of those people that has to remind myself if I'm nervous to really breathe if I'm singing, because I will forget or I will take very shallow breaths. And it's the whole shebang. It's the foundation. So I get up there and I'm nervous, and I can tell I'm nervous and they can tell I'm nervous, but I'm also like, this is karaoke. So I'm in my head and I sing a song that I've sang a lot. I sang Misty, Sarah Vaughan. Wanted to do something a little jazzy. People were singing all kinds of music. It was great. It ran the gamut. And I did it. And apparently people were like, you sound amazing, da da da. In my head, I did not hear that. In my head, I heard all of the things that all of the notes I didn't hit, all of the trail offs because I couldn't sustain the note because I was nervous and I didn't have enough breath. I heard all of those things. Towards the end of the song, kind of got a little bit more in my groove. I reminded myself to breathe, but I was like, ooh, that was a rough ride. But I was also like, but I did it. Girl, you did it. You alive. It's all good. So when people were saying, coming up to me, like, oh, can you sing another song? I didn't get a chance to do that, but can you sing another song? That was beautiful. You can really sing. I was like, really? Because in my head, my self critic was like, no, ma'am, you rusty, girl. You got up there, you thought you was cool, and then you immediately got nervous when the intro came in and forgot to breathe. And it brought me to some very specific moments in my life. And I want to share those specific stories because it all ties in with this. And then the lesson that I learned in this, or that I rediscovered in this, that I want to be aware of in this particular season of my life, in my 40s, traveling abroad with my family, trying new things, finding my creative outlets and my creativity again, and I want to be aware of that. So I'm going to get to that. But let me tell you this. Okay, let me tell you this. I had a flash moment, right? Remember I told you that, big girl, little girl, I had a little girl flash moment. When I was in junior high school, which some folks I think call middle school, I was in the school chorus, right? I was in the school chorus. That's when I started to do like organized singing. I did it then. I did it in the young people's chorus in New York City in high school, all throughout high school. I was in a glee club and jazz ensemble in college. So that's many, many years of singing in like an organized group. So I was in the school chorus. And my music teacher was like, hey, I want you to do this duet. And I was like, okay. I wasn't like, I know I could sing type of personality and I'm going to get out there and do my thing. But I'm like, okay, I'm going to get together. I did like to sing. I was a bit shy about it, especially then. And I was like, okay, we're going to do this. And we practiced and we practiced and we practiced. She practiced with me my part. She was like, okay, you're good. This is your duet partner. And when I tell you, this little girl could sing. Okay. Why? She sang in her church choir. Okay. Enough said. I feel like you already know. If you know, you know. She sang in her church choir. The girl didn't need a microphone to be heard. I mean, her voice just filled the room. That is not my ministry. I can sing, but I don't have those kinds of pipes, right? I don't have Jennifer Hudson level belted out type pipes, especially then when I was still discovering my voice, right? So I definitely hadn't discovered at that point. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna do this duet. So we get to the assembly. Remember assemblies? We get to the assembly and we get to the duet part. She's on one side of the chorus, I'm on the other side, like physically. And there are parts where she sings by herself and there are parts where I sing by myself and there are parts where we sing together. Child, everybody's at the assembly. My mama's there. I think my dad was there. Like it was just like, okay, we're doing this. She sings her part, she was singing it. Boom, belts it out, runs, doing the thing. I sing my parts, I'm singing, I'm hitting the notes, but because she is so powerful in her voice, I sound like I'm whispering. And then there's parts where we're supposed to sing and harmonize together. And her voice overpowers mine. Now, in hindsight, I feel like there are times when you learn to kind of, when you're singing with somebody else, pull back and choose your moments, right? Because you want the song to sound good. If you know you're dealing with someone with a different kind of voice, you pull back when you're singing together so the harmonies can blend well. When it's on you, girl, sing it to the rooftops, okay? Sing it to the stratosphere, all right? That's you. And if it's just me, that's on me. But what if we're gonna sing together? Then I feel like, you pull back. But that's just, that's my little aside. But ultimately, she, she did her thing. And as the song is going, I could feel myself shrinking. I could feel myself feeling inadequate. The song's not even over yet, and I'm embarrassed and I'm anxious and I'm eager to get this over with and I'm uncomfortable and I want to run away and I don't. I'm just like, I just have to get through this. And I get through it and I just want to leave. And my mom's, encouraging, like, that's great. And I remember I said, she's like, I couldn't hear you that well. And I'm like, this is awful. And that moment, I'm at the big age I'm at now. This is junior high school. I still remember that moment. That moment was very defining for me because as I was still trying to find my voice, I already was in a space of comparison mode and feeling like, oh, I can't do that. So then I'm just bad at it. When in hindsight, my music teacher would not have chosen me if I was bad. She chose me because she believed in me and my voice and she wanted to give me a moment to shine and to showcase it. That's not how I felt then. This is hindsight, right? Fast forward, I told you I'm in the Young People's Chorus of New York City for 4 years through high school. We are a performing and competitive chorus, and it was beautiful. But I'm one voice in maybe 50, 60 voices. I go to Glee Club. I'm one voice out of what, maybe 80 voices? Like 60 to 80, however. And when you are one voice in many, I could still do what I loved and do what I enjoyed doing and be in music and harmonize, but I could hide. I could hide behind a mistake I made. I could hide behind the idea that I'm just one voice, so I'm not very, and I'm not the important one. We had people that did the solos and stuff like that. I'm a supporting cast member. Okay, I got your back. I'm singing. I'm the doo-wop pop pop chick. Let's, you know what I mean? And I'm cool with that. And so for years, I was one voice of many, and I could kind of hide back. And every once in a while, people are like, "Oh, I want you to try for this solo," right? In high school, and I would have other solos, I would have other duets, and it would go well, but I still wasn't confident, and I still was nervous, and I still felt like I didn't quite hone in on my voice. And then my last 2 years of college, I am in jazz ensemble, and I couldn't hide anymore. Jazz ensemble is an intimate group of musicians. You have maybe 4 to 5 vocalists, and I was a vocalist. You have folks on sax, you have your drummer, your pianist, you have your bass player. That's pretty much it. Like that's it. So maybe there's 12, 13 of us. And like I said, there's only 4 or 5 vocalists. As a vocalist, you're gonna lead a song. That means that every all the other vocalists are on stage with you, but you're the lead vocalist and they're your doo-wop pop pop chicks, right? And then you have a solo song, which means you are on stage with the band by yourself. And I was like, oh snap, why'd I do this? It sounded like a good idea at the time. I was really interested in singing jazz and learning more about jazz. And that's why I took that leap from Glee Club, where I was like one voice of many, to now being one voice in few and having to be at the forefront. And that's where I found my voice. At the end of my college career, I began to find my voice because I had to. I was nervous and I had to do it anyway. And I had to find ways to channel that nervousness and still sing what I was supposed to sing. What was helpful is that jazz ensemble has microphones. The vocalists are always mic'd. And so I didn't feel this immense pressure to belt, right? Like to be like, my voice is going to fill the room because the microphone was an instrument that helped with that. I could sing and you could hear the intricacies of my notes, and the microphone helped. If I'm in like a, you know what I mean? We sang in many, many people. I need a microphone. But that is where I started to find my sense of I can do this. It's okay for me to shine. Perhaps this genre and this kind of singing is my thing. More stripped down, um, just vibrato. There's kind of it's like a cleanliness to it. I was like, okay, I feel comfortable in this space, even though I'm completely uncomfortable still leading a song and soloing a song. And if we this is the all of the things that are in my head. And if we go right back to a couple days ago, going to karaoke for the first time in God knows how long. I don't know how long it had been since I had sung a karaoke song, okay, and gone to karaoke. Well, actually, that's not true. My cousin's 40th birthday, there was some karaoke. But I don't remember, I don't think I didn't sing a song by myself. I was just kind of jumping in on other people's songs, if I remember correctly. So, but yeah, to me, being like going up to a bunch of people at a place where they're doing karaoke, it's been a while. But all of these things are going through my head. And one thing that I had to realize or recognize, right, fast forwarding to a couple days ago, is that nervousness that I feel when I need to sing in front of other people is about perception. That nervousness that I feel honestly is, are other people going to think I'm whack? Like, I know I can sing, but my nerves have me singing that note flat. You know, that note was flat. Did they hear that it was flat? They're probably like, "Girl, why get off the stage." Plus, this is karaoke, so everybody's encouraging. We're clapping for everybody. You know what I mean? This is about expression. This is about enjoying yourself. This is about having fun. But I'm back as that girl at that assembly, thinking like, they're thinking, why are you even here? Just let the other girl sing the song, girl. Because clearly, just step back. We don't need you. We can hardly hear you. Why are you here? Those thoughts run through my head when I'm feeling nervous, specifically about singing. And it's attached to that memory. And that people are going to perceive me as someone who cannot sing, someone who, you know, and it's like, I feel like I have something to prove to other people still. And I was like, oh crap. Because that awareness means now, okay, there's some work to be done around feeling confident in those creative spaces again. I haven't done spoken word in years. I might pick up doing that again. Probably going to be a little nervous, right? I feel a little less nervous because I'm reading words as opposed to having to sing them and hit certain notes, right? But ultimately, I still am taking this as an opportunity to be like, okay, girl, you got this. What do you know about yourself? Remind yourself, reminding myself that what I think about myself, what I know about myself, what I know to be true is paramount, is first and foremost, is front and center. That reminder is helpful. It's always a process, it always takes time, but that reminder is helpful. I know what I can do. I have the receipts. And I know that I do it in my own unique way, and I don't have to sound like anybody else while I'm doing it. I just have to enjoy myself. I get an opportunity to express myself through music, which is always something that I loved. This is an opportunity to do that at a time where I don't have an organized way to do that. And man, I know there was a woman there who was hosting the karaoke, and she and a few other people were there, and they were like, they have a chorus. And I was like, oh, that's really nice. They actually have a chorus and they get together and they sing. And so finding something like that, over where I am might be nice. I don't know where to start, but it made me think about some things. Being around other singers, harmonizing, that's a joy place for me, and it always has been. And I realized that just being in the presence of people who wanted to sing and express themselves. And I also realized that I need to work on my creative confidence. That is a process that I want to actively be in on this journey. And it feels good to know that. And it feels good to be in a space where, because I did that thing, because I, put myself out there to sing, that I'm aware that it triggered these other this other memory from junior high school. And I can say, oh, okay, my nervousness is about perception. If I went up in there knowing what I know about myself and putting that at the forefront and just having fun and just expressing myself, there's a difference there. And ideally I would feel that difference. And now I've kind of warmed up to it. So I think I did mention here there's a karaoke bar near our apartment. So I'm like, I might have to check that out. I'm gonna have to check that. I'm saying might, and as I'm saying might, it feels like a cop out. As I'm saying it out loud right now, the word might, it feels like a cop out. So I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna wait till after Ramadan and I'm gonna check it out. So yeah, that is what I have today. I hope for you, I hope it's helpful. If there's something within this story that resonates with you, if you've been comparing yourself, if there are moments where you feel like you're not enough, if there are moments where you feel like you're not measuring up because you're comparing yourself to others, or because, like me, you realize that that nervousness and discomfort is about other people's perception of you. What are other people going to be thinking about you? What do you think they're thinking in their head? And then be like, their noise doesn't matter as much as your knowing. Oh, snap. Okay. That just Okay, put that on a t-shirt. Their noise doesn't matter as much as your knowing. Okay, that's gonna be one that I'm gonna take with me for me. You can just give me a little bit like, I heard this girl, this woman on YouTube. She had said this and it resonated and it was a bar. Uh, but yeah, I hope that that's something that resonates with you so that you can carry that and take that with you. It's something that you can glean from my experience in this moment. And with that being said, I want to say thank you for getting this far, for chatting with me. Hopefully, you got cozy too, because it's just that type of night for me. And I appreciate you. If you like this video, please, I would love for you to give it a thumbs up. If something resonated with you, definitely hit me up in the comments. I'm happy to continue the conversation there. And yeah, if this kind of thing and this kind of conversation is your vibe, please subscribe and we can continue this journey together. Until then, I will see you tomorrow.